Hi, I'm Zach Laws.
I'm Shannon Jones.
And we're going to be bringing you our Oscar predictions. Now, each one of us have some envelopes in our pocket with the other one's predictions on it. We're going to be going through the major categories. Neither one of us knows what the other one is predicting. So, let's get the ball rolling.
This is true.
With Best Supporting Actress. Shannon Jones.
Okay, go for it.
Your pick is...
See what it is.
Anne Hathaway for Les Miserables.
All right. Zach Laws, your pick for Best Supporting Actress is Anne Hathaway, Les Miserables.
So let's talk about this for a second. If I had a vote in this category, it would go to Sally Field for a wonderfully modulated performance in Lincoln.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm choosing Anne Hathaway because I feel that it's more her time, and it's an award that they can give to a young, up-and-coming ingenue and a star of Les Mis. Shannon Jones?
Well, there's some big words you're throwing out there, Zach Laws. But no, I agree with you. I've seen both movies, and I wanted Sally Field to win too, honestly, because I love Lincoln, I love Sally Field. But I think Anne Hathaway is going to win just because the exact thing you said. She's an up-and-comer. She's new to the Academy. They want her to win an Oscar. And I personally think she was great in it. She wasn't Sally Field great, but she was still really good in it. It's kind of one of those roles, you know, where so many people have played it before. But, you know, I think she had a lot to give, and she did. I mean, shaving her head, all those things. So yeah, I think she's gonna win. That's my pick.
If only Sigourney Weaver had an Oscar campaign for Alien 3, because it seems that the only thing you need to do to win an Oscar these days is shave your head.
This is true, yeah. Natalie Portman would have gotten it for Vendetta.
All right, let's move on to Best Supporting Actor. Now, this is one of the tougher categories to predict. I have Mr. Jones's prediction right here.
Okay.
You think it's going to be Robert De Niro from Silver Linings Playbook.
And you, Zach Laws, think it's going to be Robert De Niro for Silver Linings Playbook.
Wow, I can't believe we're both predicting him. I'm predicting De Niro. And let me be honest, this was the toughest category to predict because all 5 of the nominees in this category are so strong. I'm picking De Niro because I feel he has the greatest Oscar story. This is a man who hasn't been nominated for over 20 years. 20
years.
Yeah. And he hasn't been doing great work for the past decade.
Cape Fear, actually, was the last time he was nominated.
That's right. That was 1991 for all of you aficionados out there.
Yeah.
He has been not nominated for as long as somebody else has been alive and able to drink.
Yeah, that's true. My sister. The reason I think Robert De Niro is going to win is because exactly, you know, Zach Laws, you know, what you're saying here is true. But also because his performance is, for me, the most powerful part of Silver Linings Playbook, you know. When I go into that film, I wasn't expecting at all, you know, from Robert De Niro what he gave me, which was a funny, compassionate, and genuinely real role that I haven't seen him in years. I mean, maybe even since Casino in 1995, or even Heat, which is the same year. So I think off of those merits and the fact that the Academy loves him and they love, you know, to reward kind of comebackers, you know, and he's definitely had a big comeback with this film, I think he's going to win for that reason. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we haven't disagreed yet. Let's see if we can in the next category. True. Best Actress. This is another tough one.
All right, let's go for it.
Shannon Jones, you predict?
Let's see what I predict.
Jennifer Lawrence for Silver Linings Playbook.
That's true. And I see what Zach Laws predicted. Jennifer Lawrence, Silver Linings Playbook. We didn't plan this out, I swear to God.
We did not. Now, this is an especially tough category as well, because at first we thought this was going to be between Jennifer Lawrence and Jessica Chastain, but I'm starting to think that this is really between Jennifer Lawrence and Emmanuel Riva for Amour. I'm picking Lawrence because she's won more awards than anybody else, and I know that's a shallow, fickle reason to pick someone, but I also think it has to do with wanting to reward Silver Linings Playbook. This is obviously a film that is well liked within the Academy, and if they don't give it to De Niro, if they don't give it screenplay, I think they're going to go with Jennifer Lawrence. Shannon?
That's true, yeah. It's not really interesting because we're not disagreeing, so we can't argue that, unfortunately. But yeah, I think Jennifer Lawrence too. I've seen Silver Linings Playbook twice now. I think it's a great film. I wouldn't care if it won Best Picture, to be honest with you. I don't think it will. But yeah, you know, it's funny with her going from something like The Hunger Games, which is action blockbuster, you know, film based on a series of best-selling novels, you know, to something as intimate as Silver Linings. You can tell that she has no ego about the role she's in, which is great. You know, she can jump back and forth. But yeah, you know, first I thought it was Jessica Chastain because of the Zero Dark 30, but I
said the Hurt Locker.
I know I said the Hurt Locker, yeah. Sorry, Catherine Bigelow, it's not your year. But yeah, no, I think she's gonna win. So off those merits, you spoke again once for me. So
moving right along to Best Actor. Now this is a tough one. Let's see who Shannon Jones predicts.
It's really tough. We're gonna the same. I guarantee it. The same person.
Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wonder if I have.
Zach Laws predicts Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln, but I actually wrote DDL because.
Yes, and I would have been confused. I wouldn't have known who DD. I thought Denzel Washington at first.
Yeah, no, not at all. So let me talk.
All right.
I think Daniel Day-Lewis will win. Just because of the fact that, let's be honest, it was the best performance by an actor, period.
That's right.
This year. I mean, Denzel Washington is really good. You know, they have some other good parts. Bradley Cooper was good in Silver Linings.
Joaquin Phoenix.
In The Master. But I just, I think there's no comparison to what Daniel Day-Lewis did. You know, it's kind of like there's been so many great performances, but his just rises to the top. And the fact that he literally embodied, a dead president who's been dead for close to over 150 years now.
Right,
but it's just eerie, and it's not a parody. It's not an SNL skit. So I think just on those merits and the fact that it's Daniel Day-Lewis, Academy loves him, he'll win, which will be a record for an actor, won't it?
That's right. Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis will become the first actor in Academy history with 3 Best Actor Oscars. There are plenty of actors who have 3 Oscars, but he will be the only one in the lead category.
Meryl Streep has 3.
That's right. Jack Nicholson
has 3.
Walter Brennan, all in supporting, and Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
And of course, Katharine Hepburn is the champ with 4 for Best Actress.
That's true.
I think that Daniel Day-Lewis is going to win because I think it's going to be the award that Lincoln gets.
Yeah.
If it's not going to get Best Picture and it's not going to win in any other categories, it's going to be Daniel Day-Lewis. And that will be the award for the film.
Yeah.
Now, coming up, we've got the toughest category probably, and that's Best Director. Now, we've agreed all this time.
We haven't done that yet.
We've got to disagree at some point.
I feel like you're going to disagree with me. I don't know. We'll see.
Shannon Jones, you're predicting Steven Spielberg for Lincoln.
There's no surprise there.
And now, if
all right, Zach Laws, you are predicting. Could it be a shocker? Ang Lee for Life of Pi.
That's right. Yes. Now this was a tough one for me. It's between Ang Lee and Steven Spielberg, with Michael Haneke waiting in 3rd place to sneak up and win. I'm choosing Ang Lee because I feel a lot of heat for him right now. I think that in both the cases of Ang Lee and Steven Spielberg, what you have here are Best Director wins as consolation prizes. They're not going to get the top award. Obviously, these are films that are well loved by the Academy. Lincoln has 12, Life of Pi has 11. To be honest, I don't know how to choose between these 2.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can. But can we just talk for a second about why Catherine Bigelow, Tom Hooper, Quentin Tarantino, and Ben Affleck were all... Well, Quentin Tarantino I understand, but Ben Affleck, Catherine Bigelow, and Tom Hooper, why they were left out. I mean, that's the biggest shocker. Because, we all think, okay, Spielberg, Ang Lee, whatever. But, yeah.
I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that the DGA Awards were announced 2 days before the Oscar nominations were announced. I think that a lot of times when the director's branch is filling out their ballots, they look at the DGA nominations to sort of legitimize these contenders.
Yeah.
I think had they seen that list, Ben Affleck would have been legitimized, Catherine Bigelow would have been legitimized, and Tom Hooper would have been legitimized. The other thing that I think happened in the Best Director category is that so many people presumed that Ben Affleck or Tom Hooper or Catherine Bigelow would get nominated, that they decided to throw their #1 votes to contenders who might not have gotten as many.
Yeah.
Michael Haneke, for instance, Ben Zeitlin for Beasts of the Southern Wild, even David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook, who did not look like a surefire nominee.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't think... I'll be shocked if Ang Lee wins. Then again, he might win. But I just feel like with all the nominees and Ben Affleck winning the awards, Spielberg has to be the front runner because, who else really is the front runner? I mean, he seems to be more loved at this point right now than Ang Lee. I don't think David O. Russell's going to win. I don't think David O. Russell's going to win.
No, he isn't. But I think that the thing that Ang Lee is loved within Hollywood.
He is.
I have seen a lot of, I was at the 3D Film Awards the other night. He got a huge tribute, a huge standing ovation. But that's not to say that Spielberg didn't get a standing ovation at the DGAs as well.
It's true, yeah.
I think that this is such a tough category to predict because either way you have Best Director being a consolation prize.
Interestingly enough, the second time they both competed directly, again, since last time they were both nominated, which was 2006 for Brokeback Mountain and Munich.
That's
and
right,
of course, Ang Lee won for Brokeback Mountain.
So every time Spielberg or Ang Lee are nominated, Ang Lee is the winner, so that's why I'm predicting.
That's why you're gonna win. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I just love Spielberg. I hope he wins. If he doesn't, who cares?
I love him too. I think it's a deserved award for either.
Yeah.
I don't know who to choose.
Totally. Let's move on.
So finally we get to the big prize, and I don't know if this is going to be a surprise or not.
It's not going to be a surprise.
So Shannon Jones, your pick for Best Picture is...
Go for it.
Argo.
True. And surprisingly, I hate to admit this, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
Yeah. I shouldn't have admitted that.
Your
best pick is Argo as well. No surprise there.
I think that what's happened with Argo is that it's become the film that is generally agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln has its detractors.
It's the favorite film of the year by
Life
everyone.
of Pi has its detractors.
Yeah.
Silver Linings Playbook has its detractors.
Right.
But I think that everyone can generally agree that Argo is a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I like I said, I haven't seen it, but I agree, you know, and it's the one that the Academy always seems to pick, whether they're right or wrong, usually are wrong, they always tend to pick a film that is the favorite of that year. And like the star this year is Ben Affleck, and he's attached to Argo, even though he's not going to win director because he's not nominated. But, you know, Argo is that film, which I guess it could be the first, it will be the first film, since Driving Miss Daisy?
That's right, yeah.
To have won Best Picture and not have the director nominated.
And it's only happened 4 times in history. You know, it might not be such a bad thing for Argo to win, because so often, because there have only been 3 films to win Best Picture without a Best Director nomination, when films don't get that Best Director nomination, their chances are over.
Yeah.
And I think this would be good thing to sort of break that record and show that your chances of winning aren't over just because one branch decided that you weren't among the 5 best.
But you know, it's weird. They kind of have to expand the rules a little bit, and because it's like they have 10 nominees for Best Picture. Well, I guess 9 this year, but you know, don't you think they should maybe, you know, include now 10 nominations possibly for directing? Because in my opinion, you can't make a film the way it is without the director attached.
I agree with that. I think that 5 nominees is sort of an arbitrary number. I don't know how they came up with that. They came up with it back in 1944, I believe, was the first time they had 5 Best Picture nominees. So yeah, I agree with you. They should open up the other categories. Why only have 5 Best Director nominees? Why only have 5 Best Actor nominees for that matter?
Yeah.
And so there you have it. Again, I'm Zach Laws.
I'm Shannon Jones.
And we didn't disagree that often tonight, but we'll check back in.
It's not that fun. No.
I will check back in with another one of my pundits and see what they have to say. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Later.